in a real apocalypse. I think people just kind of, for some people, it seems like a kind of hobby to pick up more passports. I think it's the bunker people that are actually thinking about this. But I think one of the reasons why I think they are planning for social instability is that a lot of the conversations are circling around the like private security forces. For example, this Marxist who was flown out to advise a small group of like 5 millionaires and billionaires about their bunker strategy, writes, finally, the CEO of a brokerage house explained that he had nearly completed building his own underground bunker system and asked, how do I maintain authority over my security force after the event? The event. That was their euphemism for the environmental collapse, social unrest, nuclear explosion, solar storm, unstoppable virus, or malicious computer hack that takes everything down. The single question occupied us for the rest of the hour. They knew armed guards would be required to protect their compounds from raiders as well as angry mobs. One had already secured a dozen Navy SEALs to make their way to his compound if he gave them the right cue. But how would he pay the guards? Or once even crypto was worthless, what would stop the guards from eventually choosing their own leader? The billionaires considered using special combinations of locks and food supply that only they knew, or making guards wear disciplinary collars of some kind in return for their survival, or maybe building robots to serve as guards and workers if that technology could be developed in time. So like, okay, so at least these people who are dumb enough to hire a Marxist to help them with their survival strategy, who are building bunkers and stuff, are really concerned about security. Yeah, they are concerned about social unrest. They are concerned about people attacking them.
when we would say, I mean, I hope anyone who knows our channel would say what we would say if we had a lot of money, is that the skills needed in a good leader are going to change during this time period, and you should build a system that allows the society that you're building to elect the best leader. It doesn't need to be you. You don't need to control. You're just lucky to survive the apocalypse, and after that, it's about building a strong culture. And you should be happy if one of the Navy SEAL guards is running everything. If they're a benevolent and good leader, you should focus much more on good governance than you should focus on. If we did write the Pragmatist Guide to Governance, then you should focus on trying to maintain power yourself. And great example of this. So in China, by the way, this is a great story. So when the CCP was coming to power, there was, the government before it, I forget what they were called, Shanghai Shek's government was falling apart. And one of the mayors, I want to say was the mayor of one of the major cities, took all his money and put it in his car, like in gold bricks, right? That he'd been saving
I love this story.
Occasion. And he just filled this like limousine with gold bricks, and he got in and he had his limo driver drive him out of the city. Apparently, like right at the city limits, the limo driver took him out of the car, shot him, and drove off with a limo full of gold bricks. Because it's, why? You don't matter anymore. I got a limo full of gold bricks here. You've been a dick to me. And this is the problem with these people, is they haven't engendered the respect of the people around them in terms of how they've made their money and how they spent their money, which is very antithetical to the way we live. Like if you look at the way that we put money into our community and stuff like that, the idea that anyone in our community would betray us like this, and it's not like small amounts, like this is the problem. You don't give your community like a pittance or something like that, because if you do that, then they still have a lot of. So one, never give your community less than what they deserve to have the same advantages as somebody was in your family, right? Because then you're building a community of people who are like, I genuinely appreciate you guys. But on top of that, and we've had this, like we've mentioned to the community, like it'll come up sometimes, like, oh, this person has mentioned killing us online, and they're like, they better not fucking come here. So that's one thing is you need to actually be a good person and actually reinvest in your community. Well, at least on a meritocratic basis. Or clothes or jewelry.
Yeah. I guess a lot of it's just. But I mean, hold on. Like in the apocalypse, though, what these people are afraid of having stolen is just like literally their food, their clean water, their supplies, like the stuff that people need to not die.
And I think what you need then is the thing that really protects you is by having a system centered around you or your property or something you have built that is stable and that people want to participate in. That's the thing. You want to be the one, if not stable democracy, because I actually don't think democracies are particularly good governing systems. And again, read the Pragmatist Guide to Governance if you're interested in this. But be the system where people can be fairly certain that the best people, the most meritocratically competent people, are going to be promoted within that system to
Mm.
a good position, and that people within that system will want for less in other systems. And then people are like, well, what about the angry non-meritocratically competent people? Well, the great thing is that if you sap the surrounding area of all the meritocratically competent people, then you don't need to worry about the other groups in the area, because the meritocratically competent people will find ways to defend your settlement. So at that point, it's mostly just about having the ammunition and the guns and stuff like that that can be distributed competently by whatever governance system you set up. I will say one of the I know bunkers that we have been invited to uses AI kill drones, so they wouldn't have this problem. We'd have to.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're really like maybe just a few years away from most people being able to like commercially set up AI drones to defend their property, which is like, and that would change a lot. Like that plus a good solar flare protected solar energy system and um some other like energy supplies would probably do the trick, right?
Yeah. No, but I
So
mean, I do find the AI kill drone thing interesting. It's a system where they've got an area of farmland, and that's enough to support the people who would be coming there, and then like a silo, and the silo has
the
uh,
drones.
flying kill drones. Yeah. To protect the area, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, people would be like, well, that can't be operational constantly because they need to recharge. And it's like, well, it doesn't need to be operational constantly. It needs to be operational a few times before people realize that you do not attack this settlement, and you put the people who you care about dying less on the outskirts of the settlement, and the people you care about dying more on the inside of the settlement.
Yep.
Uh, Very different settlement planning practices than you would have historically. And you can earn land and stuff like that by labor or by contributing to the settlement's goals.